Every night, I heard voices outside my cabin, screams in the forest, whispers between the trees. But every time I stepped outside, there were no footprints in the snow. None. Not a single sign that anything had been there. And that's when I realized whatever was calling me wasn't walking. I know you're gone. I lit your pyre myself. I'll never forget that fire. But I failed you. Again, I couldn't bring him back home. I never should have left you two alone. I never should have followed those voices into the woods. They were everywhere, screaming, howling, crying. But outside, nothing. Just untouched snow. I waited for the first light of morning before leaving the cabin. Like you always told me, I believe you, but please don't run into the forest in the middle of the night. Maybe you should have called me crazy. I would have believed you. I always believed you. I grabbed my rifle and walked around the cabin, like I always do, and just like every other night. I found nothing until I saw it. A faint glimmer between the trees, and right beside it, a massive footprint, too large to belong to any animal I knew. Finally, proof that something out there was alive. But the tracks stopped suddenly at the edge of a cliff, as if the creature had simply jumped. Then I saw smoke rising from the forest below. Descending the rocky cliff, I noticed deep claw marks in the stone. Whatever made them was huge. At the bottom I found a camp, or what remained of one. Tents ripped apart, blood still seeping into the snow, burn marks everywhere, but strangely, not around the fire. I put the flames out before they spread. That's when I heard the voices again, but this time it was still daylight, and they came from the same direction the creature had gone. After what I saw there, I had to follow it. If I had known what waited ahead, I would have run back home. A blizzard began. The cold burned through my bones, but I kept moving. Until I saw it. A cave. An opening in the endless mountain. I had never seen it before, yet somehow it felt familiar and terribly wrong. I stood there in the storm, but suddenly everything went silent. No wind, no animals, nothing. Just darkness waiting inside. When I entered, the voices exploded, thousands of them, screaming at once. The smell of rot was unbearable. I turned on my flashlight, but it didn't help. The darkness inside that cave was too thick. Like light simply didn't belong there. So I crawled forward, one hand on the wall, the other in front of my face. The deeper I went, the colder it became. Then my hand touched something wet, sticky, like blood. I tried to turn back, but the way behind me was gone. Logs blocked the tunnel. There was only one direction left, forward. Eventually, I saw a light, a distant glow at the end of the tunnel. When I reached it, I understood. I had found its feeding ground, its home, and there it was, feeding. Its bones pushed through its skin, like its body was trying to escape itself. But the worst part was what it was doing with the bodies. It wasn't just eating them, it was trying to cover itself with their skin, like it was desperate to look human again. Then it heard me. It turned, and I saw more teeth in that mouth than any creature should have. It screamed, a sound so horrible my ears began to bleed. It dragged itself toward me, like it had forgotten how to use its legs. Its claws stabbed into my leg, but I kept the rifle steady. I fired. The bullet bounced, but the second shot blew its head apart. Even then, it kept moving. And just before it died, it whispered something. "Thank you." Then the voices returned. Soft this time, gentle. They were coming from beneath the bodies. So I started digging through the pile of corpses until I found it. A mask, old wood, covered in blood, but perfectly intact. There was a symbol carved into it, a spiral surrounded by branches. Without thinking, I put it on, and the world disappeared. Darkness, silence, Then finally, I understood the voices. They said, "Take the mask. Break the rhythm. Open the door. Rejoice in reunion." Then the mask showed me something. Our home, our kitchen, you standing by the table, and the little one eating breakfast. For a moment, I was happy to see you. But now I understand. I showed you the mask. I showed you the door, and everything that came after was my fault. So tell me, if you heard voices outside your cabin every night, and they promised you a way to see your family again, would you follow them into the forest?